and he's going to talk to us about what he does, his experiences, and just about himself. Okay, Michael, go ahead.
Hola, ¿cómo te llamas? Me llamo Miguel. Pico español. Mucho amor. Nice to be with you. My name is Michael Schratt. I'm a military aerospace historian. Primary focus of my research deals with classified black budget aircraft within the military industrial complex. I guess over the 30 years here, I've interviewed pilots, engineers, people who work for defense contractors, and I've been trying to piece this story of classified aircraft, crash retrievals, UFO historical cases together. And I've interviewed military personnel who've worked on these programs, and certainly want to highlight the research by Leonard Stringfield, who was the gentleman who coined the term UFO crash retrievals. And over the past 3 years, I've been involved in a research project taking these historical crash retrieval cases from firsthand military witnesses and then commissioning professional detailed pencil sketches and then full color rendering to make these cases come alive.
Great, great, great. What's the number one case that you have experienced or have researched that pops in your head that is like
be
the
glad
most?
to tell you about that. There's a case in December 1963 where a U.S. Marine from Cherry Point, North Carolina was flown on a plane with blacked out windows, and when he arrived at this facility, he was brought to this hangar/building, and when the hangar doors opened up, he saw a 40-foot diameter disc-shaped craft propped up on scaffolding about 5 feet. So they had a catwalk where you could walk around this craft, you could walk below it, and it was about 40 feet in diameter. It had 9 opaque elliptically shaped windows wrapped around the outer circumference of the craft, highly polished mirror reflective exterior finish, and there were these white lab coat technicians that were investigating this craft. They were trying to get into the craft. They tried 3 methods. Number 1 was a diamond tip drill bit. That failed. Number 2 was an acetylene torch. That failed. Later, they brought in a large tractor trailer with an electrical generating device on top, and they were using a laser to try to get in, and that failed as well. The last day this guard, who was a U.S. Marine, was there, he said that they were loading it on a trailer and shipping it off to the next location. And so we have a first-hand military source telling us that he guarded a flying saucer at a remote location for 2 weeks.
Do they know where it came from?
Doesn't appear to be ours because they couldn't get inside. So perhaps it's one of these interdimensional craft, extraterrestrial craft, but the fact that they're having such a difficult time getting into these vehicles indicates that they're probably not ours. Now, I have heard of one case where they are able to get into these craft by taking the whole craft, dipping it into a large vat of liquid hydrogen, liquid nitrogen, cool shocking it, and then they can get inside. They can crack the exterior by doing that.
Wow. Okay, Michael, so can you tell us a little bit about your book?
Yes, my book is called Dark Files, A Pictorial History of Lost, Forgotten, and Obscure UFO Encounters. It's got 61 cases. They're all fully illustrated, all fully referenced. It's available on Amazon, and it's something that is somewhat unique because these are full color renderings based on actual cases. And the way I got this information, many of the cases came from the QFOS files, Center for UFO Studies. That's 2457 West Peterson Avenue near downtown Chicago. And over a period of 2 years, I went through 50,000 cases, actually went through 50,000 cases. That means pulling out the file drawer, opening up the manila folder, looking in there. And if it met 3 criteria, I used the case. So it had to have a sketch, pencil sketch, illustration, something. And then it had to have at least a 3-page report, and then it had to have a flight path. If it met those 3 pieces of criteria, I felt it was a good case and something to further examine. And that's the reference material where I got it for the book.
Very fascinating. Where can people find you?
You can find me on my YouTube channel, which is Michael Schratt, and all of my things are there. It's all free. I've got all my illustrations, all my sketches, all my detailed references. So when we talk about a crash retrieval case, I give you the page number, the reference, so you can verify it on your own.
Great, great, great. Any future research that you have?
I've got a lecture coming up in Colorado, and I'm going to be getting more crash retrieval cases illustrated, because I feel it's the crash retrieval cases that are going to push this whole research field through to the finish line and ultimately to disclosure.
Anything else you want to tell our Hispanic viewers?
Love to be with all of you, and hopefully we can join together and research more historical cases. Good to be with you.
Thank you so much, Michael.
Yep.